People say I ain't no good, and I'm crazy as a loon. Cause I shave my head in the morning, pick guitar in the afternoon. Just like old Chief and Charlie, I like to lay around in the shade. Well, I ain't got no money, but you better believe I got it made. Cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this bald-headed country boy alone.
What's up, folks? Thank y'all for tuning to the Josh Terry podcast. Happy 2025, you some bitches. Y'all have not heard from me in a couple weeks. I hadn't released like a new episode in a fucking month. I took the holidays to spend with my family. We had a lot of shit going on, a lot of changeover. We got some new businesses that we're working with. You're gonna hear from one of them tonight. It's just been a whirlwind, and I needed a break. I get tired of entertaining you bastards sometimes, and I get tired of having to be entertaining, to be honest with you. I need to be chill sometimes. I took some mental health days, and now that it's time to get going and get rolling with 2025, I wanted to start off our year with a new sponsor on our show. I met this guy in November in Nashville at a Green Beret event. He is a fucking badass. He looks like me, but way better looking, way better tattoos. His beard is way better than mine. We really don't look that much alike. I'm trying to make myself sound better. But I want to introduce you to my guy, Mr. JT, the bearded Viking. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How's it going today?
I'm good, dude. I'm glad we finally got to do this. For everybody who don't know how shitty I am about scheduling stuff and stuff not working out, I've had to reschedule this guy like 4 times. I feel like the biggest piece of shit about it. So thank you for dealing with my bullshit, and
No worries.
and thank you for finally doing it. Thank you for being a sponsor on the show too, dude.
Yeah, of course. The company that I started is all about how, we like to get out and talk about great things. We like to bring people together. It's the art of, I coined the term, it's the art of a meetup. Make mead.
Mead up. I get it. I get
it.
it.
Yeah. I'm a dad too, so dad jokes happen. Yeah. So yeah, dude. It was not just you too, though. Like, there's a lot going. I mean, the holidays. It was like back and forth. I had my daughter and a bunch of stuff. So for me, it was just like, whatever, man. I'm very chill. Like, I live on top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere, Montana, on purpose. So
that's cool. I wish I was out there most of the time until it gets cold, probably, and then I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to deal with just cold.
Bad. Oh, I mean, cold ain't
You're
that bad.
in it. Like, you're in it all the time. You're used to that fucking cold. There's no way I could get used to that cold now.
Dude, after I served in Iraq and Kuwait, I was like, fuck the heat, dude. I'm fucking out. Like, it gets above 86 degrees. Like, 86 degrees, I'm like profusely sweating.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
So 86, 87 degrees, I'm like, you can keep this shit. I moved here for that.
Yeah. The way that I dress is really depending on the season anyway. I mean, like most people, but during the summer, dude, I'm buck naked almost all the time. Like, I wear cutoffs every single day, and everybody thinks, oh, he's trying to show off his arms. I don't have big arms in the first place. It's because I have sweat stains that are bigger than I am. I can't wear t-shirts. I'm telling you, I pour when it gets hot. I sweat. Yeah, I'll lose 30 pounds like it ain't shit though. Like, every time.
You all got that humidity shit down there.
Oh, it's the fucking worst.
And I my first foray into humidity was when I went to Okinawa back in 2004. I got off the plane and I was like, why are my hands wet?
Yeah.
It's just like my hands were just sweating. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that is not okay. And then it was just like, we would do operations in the jungle and shit, like doing some training missions and shit like that, And like, you would be there and you would sweat through your uniform, but there's no breeze. There's nothing that can take that away from you. So you'd be drinking water and you would almost just fucking die of overheat, heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And you're like, wait, I'm soaking wet and like still hot. It was like I was boiling. I hate
it. It is the worst. Before we just keep talking about body sweat and all that good shit, give them a little rundown. Like I said, I met you. It was real cool how we met at a Green Beret event. The name of that organization, what is it?
Rocking the Green Beret.
Rocking the Green Beret. We met in Nashville. I got invited to whatever event y'all were throwing. It was my buddy Savin Abel, Jared Weeks, and all of them there, Dallas Alexander. But we got
Scott
invited
Brown.
up
Yeah.
there, and me and you hit it off, talking shit to each other right off the bat. I knew I liked you, like right off the bat, and then yeah. But give them a little background on you, the Mead Company, just before we just run our mouths, just give them a little
Okay,
info on you.
sounds rad. Okay, so I'm a pretty simple dude. Father of three kids. They're all daughters, 24, 22, and 17. It's really weird that all my kids are grown up because I didn't, sucks. It's also cool, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Born and raised in Utah, enlisted in the Marine Corps on September 12th of 2001. Went to boot camp in January of 2002, and then fought in Iraq, as well as ended up joining the Army National Guard after I did my time in the Marine Corps, and ended up. I was like, hey, I'm done fighting overseas. This shit's fucking stupid. I'm done getting shot at. I'm really cool with not doing that anymore.
yeah,
Ended up joined the National Guard because I missed the camaraderie, I missed the friends and everything else. And then they sent me to Afghanistan to do route clearance, so that was cool. By cool, I mean terrible. And came home, owned an automotive business. I used to be an AC certified master tech. Got my bachelor's degree and became a cybersecurity project manager. And okay, so the origin of the Mead Company, kind of a funny story. So we're in the middle of the pandemic, and I have a big beard. Like I've had this beard ever since I got out of the military. Like it grows like 4 to 6 inches every two or
solid
three
fucking
months.
beard, solid great
Yeah.
beard.
So you have to wear the stupid fucking mask, and we're in Utah,
Yeah,
where I didn't think I would ever have to do that. But the mask climbs up. I'm at the grocery store trying to buy some Coors Banquets, as I call them, because I'm bougie.
banquets.
Yep. And mask walks up over my eyes because my beard's pushing it up, right? So I pull it down, and this gal come running across the grocery store, basically to yell at me. She pulled her mask down, yelling at me for touching my mask. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? I can't human anymore. Like, I can't do this. Like, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're so lucky that my firearm is like in the truck. Like the world would be better without you. And that's a probably terrible statement because it's not really what I teach and what I'm about. But
I
like
know
in
what
that
you
moment,
mean. I know
I was
what
just
you
like,
there's some people that just don't need to exist anymore.
yeah,
Like
sometimes,
yeah,
yeah,
survival of the fittest is how I feel anyway. But there's some people that I don't know how they got this far, but they
yeah.
shouldn't get much farther.
We just need to take off the goddamn warning labels and just let the world do the world things.
Yeah, that is, you know
But
what? That's a great idea. Let's
yeah,
let everything figure itself out.
yeah. I mean, the world was here before us; will be here after us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, and then so after that, I went to the bar, and that was when the federal mandate was the bars had to shut down and stop serving alcohol at 10. But I'm a project manager, so being a project manager is basically herding cats that are smarter
yeah,
than you. Super fucking annoying. So I needed a drink. So then, okay, um, I left the bar. It was fucking dumb because you could like walk past people and you had to wear a mask. But as soon as you sat down, you take your mask off and you're fine. But COVID comes out after 10. We can get into that later because that's fucking stupid, but whatever.
yes.
And then I went home and I was like, well, fuck, dude, I got to find a way to relax and chill, like something to take the edge off because I'm super stressed. My cortisol levels are going through the roofs. I call my drug dealer. I just want some marijuana. I just like some weed, like something, because it's not legal in Utah. And my drug dealer's like, no, man, I can't deliver that to you. I might kill you. I'm like, bitch, you
You sell
deal
drugs.
heroin, bro. Like, you
Yeah.
fucking deal drugs. Like, where's your moral compass all of a sudden? Like, and then it was like the conversation went to like, I might die. And like, we are all going to die, dude. Like, this is fucking
That
stupid.
is hilarious that you even say that before you finish telling that story. That I know people around here that are the same way because weed's not legal in Georgia either.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, yeah, and let me tell you, there were people that sell hard drugs, not my friends. Just saying, anybody's wondering, so I do have friends that like to indulge in certain things, but let me tell you, it blew my mind some of the posts and shit that I'd seen from people, and it's like you'll go and you'll do meth, but you're scared of COVID.
Yeah.
You'll snort your back out, but you will get mad at me for not wearing a mask. Please go fuck yourself.
All the way off the fucking short dock, and make sure you're wearing your fucking appropriate cement shoes.
Yes. It's
Get
like
fucked.
you're an idiot. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're putting the worst chemicals in you're putting worse shit in your body than COVID could have ever been.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm also a beekeeper.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'd harvested 100 pounds of honey and from my three beehives, and I was like, "What the fuck am I gonna do with all this?" Like, I was just giving honey away to my friends. Like, people charge for honey or whatever. I was just like, "Come get some fucking honey." Like, I got 100 pounds. Um, well, after all that bullshit went down, I still had to wake up and I was running conference calls. I worked remotely for the past 8.5, 9 years. Um, and so I'm sitting there, and when I'm running conference calls in the morning, I typically have like a movie on. One of my favorite movies is 13th Warrior.
I love it.
Yeah, there's a line at the very end. So Antonio Banderas, for those who have never seen it, it's actually um, a movie created after a book by Michael Crichton called Eaters of the Dead. And
That
it's
is a
about Viking.
samurai movie, right? I'm not.
No. This is about Vikings.
I'm thinking of the wrong one. I know Antonio Banderas is in it, but I don't
Yeah.
remember it now.
So basically, the story is that there's Antonio Banderas gets banished for fucking the Sultan's wife or something like that.
Okay.
And he's a prophet. He's going out, not prophet, but he's like going out and doing like the Lord's work or whatever, talking to people about, Islam and all the other weird shit. But anyway, so he ends up meeting these Viking warriors, and while he meets them, there's an ancient foe that comes in, and these Viking warriors go to help fight this ancient foe called the Ven. Okay, basically, they're humans that dress up as bears and eat flesh. They're cannibals. And so they take all their dead with them, and they eat their dead, and they take the heads of everybody that they kill, and then like whatever. At the very end, Antonio Banderas is sitting there, and he's just like, "Holy fuck, dude! There's 6 of us left, and there is 10,000 of them. We're gonna die. It's fine." And he just looks like he needs a drink, which I felt to my soul. And I've been in combat, and I have felt that same fucking minute.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this bullshit. So, and one of the Viking characters goes, "Drink it, little brother." And he's like, or Antonio Banderas goes, "I can't drink fermented fruit of the vine or hops or barley." And he goes, "It's honey. It's made with honey." And I paused and I was like, "Hold on. Sorry, guys. Mute, rewound it." And I was like, "Wait, hold on. This dude's drinking alcoholic honey." So because it was COVID, after that, I just said, "Hey guys, I'm not feeling like I want to do this today." And I canceled all my meetings, all of them. And I went to YouTube University first off, I said, "How do I turn honey into hooch?"
Yeah.
And then it was like mead. And I was like, "The fuck is mead?" So I went to YouTube University, and that's where I learned how to make mead. That's how I started.
That's a great fucking story.
It was crazy. So the first mead I made fermented at 21%. And it tasted like, like the LaCroix drinks or LaCroix. I don't know how to fucking say
Yeah.
it.
LaCroix is bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, this is a strawberry flavored fizzy water, right? So it's basically like fizzy water that drove past a fucking strawberry field at 2,000 miles an hour. So my mead was alcohol that knew about bees somewhere.
Yeah.
But it didn't taste like it didn't taste like honey. It just tasted like fucking ethanol. It was
yeah.
great. It was like Everclear mixed with the smell of honey.
We have moonshine here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the really bad moonshine.
Yeah. Trust me, I've tried some of what everybody thinks is good, and it tastes like fucking gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, thank you.
So I shared it with my friends. I didn't really know what I was doing. And they were like, "Holy shit, dude, this is great." And I was like, "Okay." The only reason why this is great is because after 3 fingers, I can't feel my face.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "You should do this for a living." And I was like, maybe. So then I fermented my second batch, and it got better. I made a Viking's blood, which is just, an original Viking's blood, which is cherries and honey. And then after that, my third batch didn't ferment, and I didn't know that it didn't ferment. So I was like, "This is done. It's been here for like 3 months." And I drank it, and it was like fucking honey water. and it was fucking terrible. I was like, oh, I kept trying
Why
to convince.
why didn't it ferment? Because I don't know any of the process.
Well, so I put yeast in it like you're supposed to, but I was putting a yeast nutrient in it, and when I put the yeast nutrient in it, I grabbed the wrong tablet, and so what I did is I put a yeast killer in it.
Uh,
So it did. It was just like never had a chance. It was just whatever.
yeah.
And then the fourth batch was better. Fifth batch fucking molded over. Sixth batch became like vinegar. Like I mean, I went through so many batches just learning. And then I moved up here to Montana from Salt Lake, and I convinced my ex girlfriend that it was a good idea for me to create I called it toilet bowl hooch in the kitchen, and I had like 10 different varieties, and I perfected like my flavoring, my profiles. I did all this stuff, and I definitely did not bootleg one bottle, not one bottle at all. Yes. And over time, I just got to the point where I was like, okay, well, maybe I should do this. So I entered into a brew fest. So we're competing. I was competing against like beer.
Yeah.
Mead and beer do not they're not in the same realm. The only thing they have in common is the fact that there's yeast and alcohol. That's it. Okay. And I took second place out of 20 breweries.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
So I was like, maybe I should do this. So then I started looking into the process. And when I was looking into the process, I was like, okay, I can do this. It's not a big deal. It's nothing. I just got to fucking find land, whatever. So I started looking at land, and I was, everything about this whole scenario, even where I live now, is all because it's divine intervention. I'm a pagan, so I probably talk to Odin and Thor and those folks, So, but like it's all divine intervention. Like I'm where I am supposed to be.
Yeah.
I bought my house with a handshake agreement on the side of the road.
Oh shit.
I have a 20-acre ranch from a handshake agreement on the side of the road.
Holy shit.
Where the meadery is in Columbus, Montana. I've been all over fucking everywhere just looking, right? And I drove right off of a main highway. I drove down the road and I saw a guy walk out and put a fucking for sale by owner sign in the ground, turned around, went over and fucking did a handshake agreement and bought 4.5 acres for my meadery.
That's cool.
So then then I have a crew of great men, and there's 80% of us that are veterans, and we have 15 employees or 15 people. So I started getting people to come up to Montana. We built a platform. It looks like a Quonset hut, but it's called an arch cabin, basically. It took me 2.5 years after getting fucked over by a contractor to recover.
Yeah.
Build it by hand. I didn't know a fucking thing about carpentry. Still don't. Like a plum is a fucking fruit. It is not a thing that I know. For anybody who's a carpenter out there, like I hope you laugh your ass off, but that's the truth. And then after 2.5 years of fucking building it, everything else, on May 3rd of 2024, we finally were able to open our doors. We had 1,000 people at our grand opening.
That's awesome.
We had people drive from Vermont, from Washington, Florida, fucking Texas, California, like you name it. There were fucking people, and it was crazy. It was the most humbling thing that's ever happened to me, other than being a dad.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, so it was fucking cool. So now we've been in business for since May last year, almost a year. Yeah, we're coming up on a year. So, and we already had to expand to meet production requirements. Our mead is now a multi-award-winning alcohol, so not many people can say that.
There's probably, I'm just gonna guess because I don't fucking know. I like to make assumptions. There's probably a lot of people that try to do the mead. I've never tried it. I want to try it. Like I hope you can hook me up and send me some bottles because I would love to try it. I've never tried it. I feel like everybody tries to do the IPAs and the beers and shit. Like I feel like that whole market. I don't know how many people's in it. Is what.
So we were meadery number
in the United States or whatever. Because I feel like it's bigger probably overseas, right?
It depends. So I'll give you a backstory of Mead because I like history. I don't know.
That's my shit. Let's go.
Okay, so in the United States, we were meadery number 333.
Okay, that's what I was trying
So,
to get to, so the audience
yeah,
knew, because I didn't know how many. If there was 20, if there was 20,000.
right. And so the thing is like everybody can go on YouTube and learn how to make mead. I'll just tell you guys how to do that. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit because being up here on the mountain, I actually created my own process. Like it's proprietary information. Usually meads take 6 months to get to the point where they're drinkable. Like you can drink them after like 3 or 4 weeks, but it's like really hard to get through.
Yeah.
Really fucking hard to get through. But I can do it in 4 to 5 weeks. Everybody
Yeah.
else does it in 6 months. And it's pretty cool. But the backstory on mead is so mead used to be considered the king's drink. So like it was like very, very known. It wasn't just in Norway. It wasn't just in Denmark. The Danes and the Vikings had a huge part of it. But mead goes all the way back to the Fertile Crescent. So they found pottery with remnants of fermented honey inside of it with the Etruscans, like
Okay.
the beginning of time people, right? Egyptians had it, Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan, they all had it. The Chinese have had it. Like everybody has had mead, and and here's the reason why. So mead consists of just honey, water, and yeast. That's it. So make your own 3 pounds of honey, 1 gallon of water, shake it like it fucking owes you money until it's completely like water soluble, so it splashes and whatever. Dump some yeast on top of that shit and put a bubbler on it, put it in your closet for 6 months, and then come back and check on it.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
How do you
Right?
flavor it then? Like you just put what I mean, because I don't know any of the process.
So typical way to flavor it, not the way that we do it. All of our stuff's all
Yeah,
natural.
don't give away your
Right.
secrets, but like a typical
So
person.
if you wanted to make like a jalapeno raspberry mead, which we have,
Okay.
you would put jalapenos and raspberries in that same fermenter, and you'd
Okay.
shake it up and mix it up, and then the yeast takes on the flavor of those, and it helps ferment into the actual alcohol.
Okay. You have to
Yeah.
filter that. I'm guessing you have to filter those things out though at the very end, don't you?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, you're pouring it through a strainer.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I meant, like a
Yeah.
strainer or
Yeah.
something. Dude, that is fucking cool. I always like when people I don't like when everybody does the same fucking thing. Like I think it's boring. I think IPAs are the worst thing ever, by the way. I will not drink an IPA. I hate going to an IPA bar. If you like them, more power to you or whatever. I think they assist upon themselves so much. And I hate the people that are just like IPAs are the best thing ever. No, they're not.
It's super annoying. Like if you wanted to skunk the shit in your mouth, then I guess
It's
that's what you
like
need.
it's like if I want to drink a beer, I'm drinking a fucking beer. If I want to drink whiskey, I'm drinking whiskey. I don't want flavored whiskey. But it sounds like what you're talking about with the mead is something different than I've ever tried, and just the process of it is because it's got such a rich history.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be like the fucking thing. I think I would like it. There's certain wines that I like, but I think I would like mead better than wine.
You know the best part about mead? It doesn't taste like shitty grapes.
Yeah. See, that's my problem with wine. There's only like two wines I'll drink, and everybody gives me shit. They call it Kool-Aid. There's like two, and they're both very sweet red wines. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
drinking bitter shit. I don't know why people would. Like
Mm-mm.
I'm not about that life.
No, and like if you're gonna drink to enjoy it. Like I'm way past the fucking like people judging me shit. Like I
Yeah.
put creamer in my coffee. I
Oh,
give a fuck.
I half my coffee screamer.
Yeah, I'm like an Italian sweet cream guy. I'm like whatever. I don't add sugar, nothing. I just like here you go. And
Same way.
I'm just like whatever, dude. Fuck you guys.
I get I get Black Rifle extra black coffee, and I dump half of French vanilla cream in every cup that I drink. And it's like drinking fucking milk, but I don't care. It's great to me. It works. It does the process. It does the
Yeah,
job.
that's fucking great, dude. So,
Yeah.
on the history side of things, so here's why mead's not popular. So, you have the sweeping of Christianity that comes through from during the medieval
The
time.
Renaissance and all that kind of shit with the
So,
Crusaders and all that.
yeah, so you have England battling the Vikings,
Yeah.
and then you have the Holy War, which is Christianity sweeping throughout the
Muslims.
world,
Yeah.
Muslims, and then also taking away the pagan belief system.
Yeah.
So people were fermenting mead anywhere because bees go where the fuck bees want. There's no way for like the Church of England or the Catholic Church to tax it.
Yeah.
So what they did is they started saying mead is a pagan drink because the church owned all the vineyards and the church
Yeah.
owned all the land for the hops and barley for the fucking for the beer for the ale, right?
Yeah.
So the churches swept through and they demonized mead because it was associated with pagans for the only reason they couldn't get a fucking tax on it. That's the only reason why. Like it's like the like rule number one in human history, right?
Yeah.
If somebody can tax it, they're gonna tax it.
That's
So
why for everybody who doesn't know this, that is why it took so long for marijuana to be legal because people could grow this shit themselves. That's why mushrooms are still illegal because anybody can grow them for themselves. It's not that they are bad for you.
yeah,
It is because you can do it yourself and the government cannot make money off of it.
yep, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's like why mead's not known. It held its places throughout time. Mead's pretty well known in Ireland and kind of like that the northern area of Europe, but everywhere else mead's not really known anymore because
Yeah.
it's been kind of almost eradicated from history.
Yeah. I want
And it's
you
crazy.
go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no. So that's one thing, and then the other thing is I have a theory on how mead was found because I'm a man and I think this is fucking hilarious.
Okay, I want to hear this.
Okay, so spending enough time in the military or just with my friends going out hunting and fishing and shit, like you're walking down the road to get to wherever you're gonna bust off from your friend, you see something weird on the ground and you fucking dare your friend to eat it,
Yeah.
and I bet you $20 you won't eat that, and every man will step up to that challenge.
Yeah, I'm not. I have such a weak stomach, but I've got buddies that'll do that shit all day, every day.
Yeah, and you're like $20 is $20,
Yeah,
you know.
that's what they'll say.
Yeah, and so like in my head, I think that the way back in the day with the Etruscans and whatnot, there were two men walking out on a hunting party from their village, and they saw a beehive that had been broken open,
Yeah.
and rain had gotten into it, and they saw it fizzing and bubbling. And I think that one of them was like, I bet you $20 or whatever you want to call it, for whatever they had for exchange or barter or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't drink that. And he drank it and he got fucked up on it.
Yeah. It's usually with anything in history when you figure out that it makes you happy or it gets
Mm-hmm.
you drunk, that all of a sudden it becomes a thing. Like
Yep.
you're gonna figure out how that process got there to keep going.
Yeah. So what ends up happening and what things that are now documented in like in history that you can actually go back and look at is now, all of a sudden the village elder would have his mead stick, which was like the magic stick, and he would go like before rain falls, he'd go find like two or three beehives and he'd break them open.
Yeah.
The rain would fucking fall down and fill it up, and everybody's like, well, where'd the yeast come from? Well, yeast is naturally occurring, so it just captured natural yeast and just fermented, and they would drink that. And so a lot of tribes and a lot of things in the past they have like these sticks that are covered in fucking beeswax and fucking residue from honey, and that's a crazy thing. So that's kind of how mead became a thing.
Yeah. That's I like that idea. I like how if that's how it started, because I'm big on that. I love that you're like that. I think of shit in such a fucked up ass backwards way about how something started. Because it's not ever the person that I'm worried about who did it first. I'm the person who's worried about did it second. Because they're like, okay, this was a good idea. I watched this asshole do it, so I got to keep going. So they must have been like, okay, maybe this is fine. So yeah, I like that you think that way. I do want to go back to something that you were talking about a while ago.
Okay.
So I don't know a lot about pagans, but
Oh yeah.
there was something I was listening to because I like Greek mythology. I like North mythology. I dig that shit so much. I don't know anything about somebody actually being a pagan though, right? So
Mm.
does that mean that you are anti-Christian or you just believe in what you believe in? Like how what I am, I'm a Christian. I
Yeah.
love the good Lord and everything, but I don't discredit anybody else's stuff. I believe you believe in what you believe in. I don't sit here and tell Muslims that they're wrong. I don't sit here and tell Buddhists
Yeah.
that they're wrong or whatever. But I don't know. Like, every time you hear the word pagan, it almost sounds like I think it's got a negative context where some people even associate it with like devil worship, and I
Oh
know it's
yeah.
not. And I know it's not. What you're talking about is literally mythology.
Well, yeah. So I mean, if you really want to look at all theology, any kind of theological thought, right? they are all mythology because nothing's
Yeah.
been proven, right? We all have a faith of whatever we believe in. Now, there are pagans that are like they left the Christian faith like I did, and they're like anti-Christian. I didn't leave the Christian faith because I didn't think like the teachings were good. I didn't think that like the majority of the people weren't good. I left it because I realized that to run the world the way the world is run, like you got to have at least one petty god, but they're all kind of petty.
Yeah.
They're just we're allegedly created in our maker's images,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so if I'm created in his image and I'm a petty motherfucker, then well, he's probably petty. And if you go back and you look at Christianity and you look at the Old Testament, it's like,
There's a
yeah, that
lot of hell.
motherfucker.
There's hellfire and brimstone. I mean,
Yeah,
there's punishment. There's yeah. I mean, I get
yeah,
what
yeah.
I get that.
So the way that I look at it is this, and this is what I tell everybody because I fought for freedom, and I really don't give a shit at all what you do as long as kids aren't involved.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Uh, so you pray to your God for me, and I'll tell you thank you, and I'll pray to my gods for
Yeah.
you. And at the end of the day, when we all, get that fucking off button flipped on us, we'll find out.
Yeah, I 100% believe in what I believe in. I'm very strong in my faith and my beliefs.
Good.
And I don't knock anybody for their beliefs. So that's the thing. Like I refuse to. I think that's how you deter people from being what you want to be. Like I have this thing that I talk about all the time, man. It's I'm not made to go to a church where there's a squeaky clean preacher. Like I
Oh
don't
man.
I need a guy or a woman that's been through hell, that's covered in tattoos or they're covered in scars or they've been through trauma, they've been through bullshit because that's what I resonate with. That's what I know. Like I love to see where somebody's been through hell and come back from it.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people on the other end of that, and I try not to bash Christians when I say this. There's a lot of people that'll turn you off of Christianity real quick if they sit here and hear you say, "Oh, I'm a pagan." They'll be like, "You're going to hell. You're blah blah blah." This, and I'm the one that's like, how about we sit here and talk and get to know each other and find out, I want to know more about your beliefs. Like but that's showing that's what I believe showing love and shit is. That like
Yeah.
it's not judging.
Well, that's the thing, right? So if you are a true Christian, and then you know that judge lest you not be judged. It's
Yeah.
like one of the fucking big rules. Like, don't do it.
I,
And that's just there's a lot of things in my life that resonate with me when it comes to theology and shit. I look at everything in a very giant holistic vacuum.
yeah.
And I don't knock anybody for their faith. I just don't because I don't care.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I tell everybody they want to ask me questions like, why do I have like this is Ego, which is the
Yeah.
tree of life, right? And I've got runes on me and a bunch of other stuff that are all like protection stuff for me.
Yeah.
But like but honestly, your religion and your faith in whomever you believe in, that is your
Yeah, absolutely.
relationship.
And a lot of people miss the fact. And like I said, I believe in what I believe in. So don't
Yeah.
you because it won't be somebody like you that comes after me for what I'm about to say. It'll be somebody from my faith that'll come after me for what I'm about to say. Every book that has ever been wrote, the Quran, the Bible, everything. There's
Yeah.
so many similar stories from the beginning of time to even like the tree of life that you're talking about,
Yeah.
Garden of Eden. There's a great flood in every book. There's all this stuff. So at some point in time, this is what I've always thought to myself. I believe that my faith is right because if you don't believe your faith is right and what you believe in, then you're not 100% in on it. You're not sold on it. But I cannot discredit from somebody else because if they were raised in a different area of the world and that's all they've ever known and that's what they were taught to believe and that's what they're just they're stapled in. I don't want to shake their faith. I don't want to tell them they're wrong, but there are so many similarities across the board with every religion or belief system that
Mhm.
there's a reason why that stuff lines up. There's a reason why it lines up.
So here's something my grandma told me. She was Christian before she passed. She's a great human. She said the funny thing about religion in the modern day world. So if you take like the main religion, so Buddhism, Jewish or Jewish,
Yeah.
Hebrewism,
Judaism.
or what is Judaism? Thank you. Christianity, Muslim or Islam, right? If you look at those four that are the current most prevalent religious systems in the world, they all have one thing in common outside the one major thing in common. The main character inside of their current belief went into the wilderness, spent some time, and came back enlightened.
Yep.
So my question is, what if it's the same fucking person?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole with you on that.
Oh, let's do it. I love it.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
So once
I'll be Alice.
again, Christians, don't come after me because I'm stapled in my shit. I believe in what I believe in. I think at the end of the day, I think Jesus was real. I think Buddha, I think all these people were real. I do. I think they were the best of us. I think they were absolutely miracle workers, that they were God sent. I think they were. But I think before that, I think there were Anunnaki. I think there were aliens. I think that there were people that touched certain people
Yeah.
or made certain people a little bit more special. And maybe that bloodline ran out at some point in time and we saw the best of the best that was left. Like I have a sneaky suspicion with there's so much stuff out there that's unexplained. And like
Okay.
the pyramids, all kind of stuff. There's so much crazy shit that's just unexplained. I think aliens at some point in time are the cause for a lot of these great stories. I do think they were great men. I think my savior, Jesus Christ, I think it is God. But I'm not back there. I don't know the origin story of God. Like you can't tell me when it says let there be light, like that's how the Big Bang and everything started. I have a problem with the Big Bang. I think that something started it, but
Well,
I
you can't.
I don't know what it is. There had to be something to snap their fingers, right?
You had to well before
There
before
had to
that,
be
right?
life.
There had to be something before that. Like it's
Yeah,
got to
that's
be what it is. Like you go like there's an origin story for
everything.
like yeah like the
Yeah,
pagan belief system. Like
yeah,
there's an origin story for everything there. It's like this is the story. Now whether or not it's real, I don't fucking know, man. I'm
yeah. I don't
not. I
either.
listen, right? Like I also don't believe 95% of the shit that's on TV anymore. Or like I feel like it's funny because like half the time I get my news, it's off of fucking Facebook and it's just local news, and I'm like, I fucking don't give a shit about this, you know. And like if I look at it in a holistic perspective for the world, I think probably 80-ish% of the world, when they're not surrounded by a mob, is the same way. And if you look at every religious system out there, when there are a bunch of the same people that are like-minded talking about the same kind of shit, they become a mob.
Yeah. See, this is where I have a problem with it too. Is there's so many people that it even says a lot in the Bible. Like, yeah, like a lot of the stuff that I've learned lately is you're not supposed to question your faith, but you are supposed to question things so you can have so you can have an understanding of those things. If you don't question things, like if you sit here and you tell me one thing and I take it as the gospel, whatever you say,
Yeah,
that means I'm trusting you. I'm not trusting my belief.
yeah,
So that's where you're supposed to question things. You're supposed to have an understanding. There's been so many things that I've learned in the past several months that where if I would have just took a preacher's word on it, it would have been me believing in them, not the process, not the actual belief. And there are so many people that are scared shitless of what they don't know, are scared to go against that mob because that mob is going to be like, well, you can't believe that. Like, here's a big one that I had. Like, I literally got into an argument with some folks in Nashville about a month ago about this. A lot of people want to say science contradicts Christianity. I don't think science contradicts Christianity. I think that some people want it to. I think they go hand in hand together. I like I don't see how you can sit here and say that science doesn't work along with miracles.
well, here, okay, let's break that down into two different pieces. This is really cool. So, science was created by your creator. Like, he has to fucking work in that construct, right? And a lot of people, like, we look at miracles. Let's look at a miracle. Let's call it a miracle, right? Something that's a miracle is like, somebody's cured from cancer, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, or let's look at JC, right? Um, so he came back from the dead.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that that doesn't fall within the constructs of science. It just means that we don't know the tools that were used to bring him back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so we don't know that because
Yeah.
we're not privy to that. We're not the creator. We're not whomever. It is a thing. So you really have to look at it in a vacuum and say, listen, what is true is true.
And for everybody who doesn't understand what he's saying, because there might be some of you simple bastards that are listening to this, he's not saying that Jesus wasn't resurrected from the dead. He's saying what was the process for him to be resurrected from the dead. We don't know that. And you can't discredit whatever. Like, I think that God rose him from the dead. But what if it was something else? Like
Well,
you don't know, and it could have been science.
what if it was God who resurrected him? What if God fucking teleported inside
Yeah.
and fucking was like did his thing,
Yeah.
known basically the creator, and he did it. Nobody was inside the tomb.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was inside the tomb.
Yeah.
And maybe when God teleported out,
yeah,
that's when the fucking rock broke.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
How many people too? Like this is another one because it's kind of weird you brought up that example because that's kind of where me and this dude Art was arguing about it. I was like, you realize people get resurrected every day now. Like people die every single day are on a gurney. They get the paddles, they get CPR, they get all this other stuff, and they're brought back to life.
Yeah.
That's resurrection. Like it's
Yeah.
not when you hear that word, you're thinking of something biblical, but that's coming back to life.
No, it is. It's real. So if you think about it in this like pose it like this, right? So when you are a child and you see your first magic trick, which is just sleight of hand, and it's the ball trick where you throw a ball and move it, right? That is magic to you.
Yes.
That is something you don't understand, you've never done, whatever. And then as you get older, you learn more. There's no difference than that. And by the way, that's not knocking a creator, not knocking.
Oh, absolutely. I know what you mean.
Right. So understand this, like he created life. If you believe in that specific religion, he created it. He said, let there be life. Well, you know, he probably had a bunch of information because he's done it before. Right. Yeah. And he was like, boom, here we go. I've cultivated this just like with me with the Mead, right? Not equating me to a fucking divine spirit. So get fucked for anybody who says that shit, right?
Well, I mean, you're making a divine spirit.
That's true. I love it. Dad joke, bro. Fucking right on, bro.
Yeah.
I love it.
I got you.
So, but like, creating a divine, like he's already fucking perfected it.
Yeah.
And like with me, like I had to practice a whole bunch. Like a whole bunch, and he had fucking eternity. He was an eternal human or eternal being. Like even my gods were fucking eternal beings.
Yeah,
and it's like, if you have a long enough time, I'm pretty sure you can make some shit happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this practice makes perfect.
Right, and like if you have eternity to learn everything, like learn it.
Yeah,
fucking do it.
Shit.
You know.
Yeah.
So I that's the way I look at things. And I'm like, dude, there's a whole bunch of shit we don't know. And we're not meant to know yet. And like the Anunnaki are probably like fucking
real
homies.
They're real.
They're like they said they weren't going to come back. They said they weren't going to come back. If you read there's text on the jade tablets.
The pearl tablets where the turquoise tile. I can't remember what they're called, but it's a tablet.
Jade tablets, yeah. And I mean, if you look at it, and if they translated it right, which I always have that's a different rabbit hole. It's like, so you're gonna fucking guess that like a flying chipmunk means raccoon? Like that's like fucking weird. But like if you actually check, and you look into that, it's like they say that the Anunnaki were here, and they show what was done and what was needed, and they say all these things, and then the Anunnaki bounced.
Yeah.
Until we're ready to be good. Well, was that after the Great Flood when they came in? Then did they flood the world? Because they were like, oh yeah, y'all are fucking terrible. We need to hit a great reset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think they've hit reset a couple times.
I think every time we get a little bit too much technology.
Yeah. So I'm one of those that believes in Graham Hancock's theory to where he thinks that about 12,000 years ago we had a restart. But everybody thinks that the last restart that we had was like the dinosaurs. I think there was a civilization way more advanced than us. There had to be for some of the pyramid.
Tartaria.
What?
Tartaria.
Yeah. Like there was between that and was it Atlantis and all that kind of stuff. There's too many
Mhm.
things. I think that we're what's left. I have like a lot of weird theories about stuff like this anyway, because I go down rabbit holes and just how I see shit, like how I picture stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that there's still a great civilization out there, and when we see these UFOs or all this kind of stuff, I think it's the remnants of that last great civilization. Because in my mind, if you just survived whatever that was that obliterated your civilization, the last thing you want to do is hang out what was left over from the fallout.
Yeah.
You want to be the fuck away. I think that's why there's something in Antarctica. I think that we have not discovered a touch part of the ocean. Like I think that there is something. I think every time they see this stuff that is unidentified flying objects, I do think aliens are real. But I think
Yeah.
it's the remnants, the leftovers of the good part of that civilization. And they're looking now and be like, okay, are these dumb monkeys? Are these apes that are still here? Can we hang out with them yet? And every
Oh,
time it's like, no, no, they're fucking
they're,
stupid. We're not.
they're like
Uh,
they're worried about they're worried about fucking warring with
yeah,
each other over
they're
religion.
they shut down a what because of COVID, and they're doing podcasts about it. Yeah, no, we're not hanging out with them. Fuck
No,
them.
for sure.
Yeah,
No,
fuck those guys. Like, we're not hanging out
they're
with them.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. So it's I really appreciate those kind of conversations because I believe in the paranormal. I could talk about a lot of paranormal stuff
Oh
that's happened
yeah.
to me in my life. I could talk about that shit for days. And obviously we call it paranormal because it's like outside of the normal, right? So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I could
Thank you
fucking
for
talk about
saying that, right? Thank you for and like he's not just saying ghosts. He's saying unexplained shit.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
No, like I mean, ghosts, spirits, whatever. Sure, that's your
Yeah.
go-to. Fucking people are like, oh, you think vampires exist? Man, I don't know. Have you seen fucking the people that run this country?
Th-
They all
There's
look like fucking
there's
vampires.
a once again
Lizard people.
where there's smoke, there's fire. The fact that there are so many stories about certain things,
Yeah.
it just seems more logical to me that at one point in time, some of this shit existed. It might not exist no more, but if there's people out there that believe in Bigfoot, I don't have a problem with you believing in, yeah, I don't have a problem with you believing in vampires. Like,
Hold on.
because there's too many stories.
I gotta tell you this. So, do you know who Jane Goodall is? I hope so.
It seems like
The,
another name. It seems like
the world's leading primatologist, right?
mhm.
She's the one who found the gorillas, the movie
Oh,
Gorillas in
Jane
the Mist.
Goodall.
Yeah, Jane Goodall.
Okay,
Yep.
I thought you said something. Jane Goodall. She was the one that like lived down with them and
Yeah.
everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So she was on a TV show, and they were asking about Bigfoot,
Yeah.
and she said, "Well, we found the gorillas 70 yards from our camp that we've been there for 3 years. So animals know, they know,
They're
right?
aware.
Yeah, and so she said, is or she was asked, well, then do you think Bigfoot's real? And she said, Bigfoot is absolutely plausible. And
Yeah.
she stated it in this way. She said, let's look at the Pacific Northwest. Okay. There is so much tree cover and unexplored and uninhabited parts of the Pacific Northwest for sure. And there's so many stories, right? And then you have like that for Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it. And it's not just one for anybody who's a fucking idiot. No, it's a fucking species.
Yes,
Get fucked,
exactly what it is. Yes.
right? So there's a video evidence of one. People want to debunk it, whatever. Like you guys debunked COVID. You told us that we should we'd be
Yeah.
wearing masks because
Yeah.
being 6 feet away from people fucking helps you not spread disease, or wearing a fucking mask on your face stops you from fucking spreading a disease. And when it's a fucking t-shirt, they're pathogens. Get fucked. It's smaller than that. It's called
Yeah.
science. Right? Anyway, sorry, rant over. Um, anyway, so then you look at, okay, well, if it's in one place, could it be possibly everywhere like humans? Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
The hairy man, the ape man. You got the fucking Yeti. It's everywhere.
Well,
And it's on hieroglyphs.
this is why I 100% believe in it. I think that it could be real. Well, I think that it is real. I don't know if they're still left, is the thing. I think that you adapt to your environment
Hmm.
anyway. And it seems like where he's usually spotted at, his adaptations to his body, looking like a big hairy son of a bitch, would be adaptations for a civilization or for a species to be safe in that environment.
Yeah.
And also, too, if those adaptations are so good to that environment, they're made for that environment, you're never going to find them.
No.
You're never going to. They have perfected. It's a chameleon. If you see one, it's a 1 in a billion chance. But the fact, like you just said, hieroglyphs, everything else, it makes perfect sense. I just think with like them or even a dodo bird or anything else, I think eventually you run out. I think eventually, because of your environment, I think eventually you're done. So I think that's why another reason why we haven't seen it, there's probably so few of them now. It's a needle in a fucking billion-pound haystack.
Well, or they're interdimensional beings and they fucking like they walk through stuff and like
Yeah.
there's a thing, right? So I've had an experience with one.
Yeah.
It was fucking creepy as fuck. But yeah, dude. So like I don't know, man. I love the paranormal shit. I love talking about the shit. I love doing really cool shit. So some other shit about me, since you were asking that, a long time ago, but like
Yeah.
cool stories. I'm also a falconer. I have two peregrine falcons.
That's cool as shit.
I use them to hunt. So anybody who's not a hunter, like, you probably shouldn't listen to me talk because I hunt and fish and build
We
cabins
don't
all the
have
time.
soft ass people don't listen to me. Like we have now all walks of life. Now we have every single community, every single person you think wouldn't listen to me, as long as they're open minded. Because I try to do the thing to where I don't ride the fence. I pick a side on a topic, but
Yeah.
I can respect your side of the topic. Like I'm not going to sit there and bash you or be ugly to you or whatever if I don't believe in what you believe in. I don't like people that just do that because I said so shit. Or when I ask you why do you believe in this, they have nothing besides I just do. I want to know why you believe in something because that's what changes people's minds. When they see that you're just as passionate about your beliefs as I am about mine, all of a sudden there's a respect line there to where a lot of people are just crying, bitching, moaning, and all that kind of stuff, and then they expect you to believe. Like I'm not that. But you did say something earlier. You said that you signed up for the Marines September 12th, 2011. So you did it day after 9/11.
Yeah. Uh, so a lot of people ask me this question, or they praise me for being a patriot. Here's the thing, like, I'm not a patriot. I didn't enlist because I wanted to save America. I had zero fucks to give about most of America, still do.
Yeah.
Like I just don't care. Like I really just don't. I'm not that guy. I'm not here to fucking be your hero. I'm not a hero. I'm not any of those things. I had a 9-month-old daughter. I
Yeah.
was in Salt Lake City, Utah, where the Mormon church is. Right? Muslims hate everything that's Christian and everything that's like a sect of Christianity.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever that is, they hate all of them. Like the not Muslims in general. That's probably the wrong statement, but like terrorists. Right?
The radicalists.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and it's the largest organized religion in the world. It's like what 3 billion people. So like, even if only 10% of the 3 billion people are uh, radicalists,
Yeah.
you're talking 30 million. No,
Yeah.
sorry,
Shit.
300 million
A
fucking
shit
radicalists.
ton of fucking people.
Yeah, that are all radicalists, right? So if they could
Yeah.
do it in New York, which was considered the city of cities, and they could do it in Pennsylvania, and they could do all these things. This is obviously before I found out that it was fucking actually an American
I,
fucking cover up.
I was fixing to ask because I like people get mad at me
I
about that
bought
shit.
in. I bought into the
Yeah,
lie.
yeah. People ask me all the fucking time, dude, and I piss people off left and right. Our
There's a fucking
government, that was an inside job,
dude.
one
Yeah,
thousand
well,
percent.
Dick Cheney said that we were fucking off on our. We were missing was it 3 trillion.
Yeah, and that happened then. Like,
So he said we were missing like the week before. He said we're missing. We have $3 trillion worth of unaccounted funds or whatever.
yeah,
Well, so nobody ever talks about Building 7.
yeah,
Guess what Building 7 was? The accounts. It's the accounting portion for the federal government. for their fucking spending. So
Yeah.
Building 7 goes, right? And then you look at the Pentagon. So if a plane at 500 miles an hour is flying,
That's a
right? And there's,
missile, 100%.
but listen, I was getting there. You stole
Yeah.
my thunder, right? But like there's a plane flying. You're gonna see the plane. You're gonna see, even if the camera is super slow from 2001, you're still gonna see an airplane, especially at the Pentagon, fucking crashing the building.
Yeah, this is the argument I make with everybody about that. Because, like I said, well, here's the cool thing. I love that you're a veteran and I'm having this conversation with you because this is what pisses me off. All my veteran buddies, I'm not a veteran, but I do a lot of stuff with mental health with veterans. So I'm around you guys a whole hell of a lot. I respect the shit out of y'all.
Yeah.
Every one of them tells me every single time I have this conversation or whatever, they make the points that you just made. Every single time. But you know who is the one that's always like the fucking I'm wrong, whatever. It is always the overeducated pussy, like the overeducated person that's like, you shouldn't say that. That didn't happen. That doesn't make sense. No, you are a sheep, dude. Like, there's 100% that was a missile that hit the Pentagon. The fact that how many videos is there out there from individuals, just random ass people that recorded those planes hitting the towers? How come there's not? Because everybody would have been on alert and everybody would have been looking. How come there's no videos of that fucking plane hitting the Pentagon?
Yeah.
There's none. Like there's so much shit that is scandalous about that whole thing. And it's always the vets. It's always my vet buddies that are like, "Oh no. They fucked us. They fucked us hard."
Dude, they fucking sold us the greatest lie ever so
Yeah.
Richmond could get fucking richer and they could cover up the fucking deep state. Like
Yeah.
anybody who fucking sits here and tells me that's not the truth, and then all of a sudden you go overseas and Dick Cheney's fucking uh Dick Cheney and Rumsfeld, fuck
Yeah.
both of them, and fucking the Bush family in
Yeah.
general, right? All of those fucks
Yeah.
are making fucking money off of fucking heroes' backs, and all you get is a folded American flag and $400,000 for your family.
Yeah.
Get fucked sideways. No,
Yeah.
man, fuck off.
Yeah, and then on top of it, for those who don't understand this, every one of them, almost every single one of them, has their hands in a Saudi oil company or has their hands in something to where it benefits them for war. It
Oh,
is
dude.
ridiculous that
Oh yeah,
people do not put two and two
BlackRock.
together.
Dude,
Yeah.
fucking BlackRock, was it Raytheon?
Raytheon.
Fucking yeah, Raytheon. And by the way, just before we keep going, I'm not suicidal. I love my life. I live on top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere. I do not want. I'm also not fucking Ted Kaczynski because we're
Yeah.
known for that here in Montana.
Oh, yeah,
So
no.
like, if
If
any
something
of that
happens,
happens,
yeah.
yeah, listen, I was the greatest mead maker ever, and make sure my kids are taken care of.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that moving forward. I think that's why I'm not the biggest Donald Trump fan, but I love what he's bringing as far as actual change comes and scaring the shit out of the career politicians. I do love that about him. Like I do because that change needed to happen
Yeah.
so much. But like I think every one of America hoots together. The fact that Dick Cheney was supporting Kamala, the fact that and it's like how? Excuse me? Like how is this
Well,
happening?
because Kamala and fucking Biden were trying to get another war started so they
Yeah.
could fucking make their millions or
Yeah.
billions,
Yeah.
right? They're just funding the war machine, right? It's like,
Yeah.
are
I
you fucking kidding me right now?
I think that back in the day, and I still think it's this way, but I think once again we have the descendants, the last people that started it that are here now. I
Mhm.
think there's a cabal. I think there's a group of a couple hundred people that run this fucking world, regardless of where you live or where you're at, because it's just crazy to me how the self-interest of these families never change. It's also crazy to me how some of them never get these families never get cancer. It's crazy to me how some shit like you never anything bad happens, but then like you get an anarchist like Princess Diana that pops up somewhere and then she's took out.
She
Like
said some shit. She said some shit about the Rothschilds. That's what
yeah,
happened. The
yeah,
Rothschilds were like,
There's the
Oh,
cabal, dude. There's
no, like for real.
Yeah, and what we're seeing, whether you think it's Democrat or Republic, the reason why there's been so much hate on Donald Trump because he wasn't part of it. I think JFK was not part of it. I think that's the reason why
No.
they killed him. I think that we've had a couple presidents. Reagan, people get mad about it. I think Reagan was part of it. Like everybody wants to what about Reagan, but I think he was kind of part of it.
So I think Reagan was forced to be part of it
Yeah,
at the end because when he started off, he was so good.
yeah,
And then they tried to kill him,
yeah,
and then he came back. He was like, okay, I'll play your game.
yeah. Well, that's funny how that happens for some people. Um, but like it's to me, I just think that that's what it is. I mean, we've had kings and queens from the beginning. We've had
Yeah.
people that have ruled countries. It would make sense at one point in time when you have all these wars and everything, you have rebellions, that somebody that was a lot smarter than everybody else was like, hey, look, we're going to trick everybody. We're going to tell folks this is a democracy. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the people that we want in power, whether they win or lose. We'll put two people every time that we control and their families, and we'll promise them wealth, we'll promise them health, we'll promise them everything. All you have to do is what we say when we say it. And like I said, I think JFK was the first one. And then I think Trump was the second one that's just been completely. I don't know if you ever heard the speech that JFK gave about the cabal. Like he gave a fucking whole ass one, and he was talking about how it needs to end.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, if you go back, so first off, I just want to be like this with JFK. Well, actually, let me start with Donald Trump. Okay, I don't ever look at a leader in the aspect of I respect the leader because of his words.
Yeah.
Words are fucking shallow. Uh, however, Donald Trump, not that you're going to ever hear me speak. Stop fucking tweeting.
That's what I
Like,
say. I say all the time. If he, this is why, oh God, I love you. I fucking say it all the time. The reason that he's gave people so much ammunition during the George Floyd stuff, he said that shit that it shot should have been fired or whatever. If he would have just been political and just been down the middle of the aisle and kept his fucking mouth shut, he would have been president again. Like it's been so much bullshit, and I don't like George Floyd, by the way. So don't take it that way. I don't have I that's I don't care about none of that shit.
I don't think that presidents should be involved in a fucking local city matter ever.
No.
Be a president. Like that's I'm sorry, I don't have an opinion on that. And just say that. Because it's not your job to fucking speak about that. If goes back to like the whole faith thing, right?
Yep.
Listen, if you want to be gay, go fucking be gay.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a shit. You want to dress up and cross over and change your fucking gender and you want to identify as a fucking unicorn?
Yep.
I don't give
I
a
don't care
fuck.
either.
But yeah, if you want to marry a Ferris wheel, still don't care. Like
Yep.
really don't care. It's not my business. I got weeds in my own yard I got to take care of.
Yeah,
I give a fuck
exactly.
about your yard. Like do not
Exactly.
care, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's real.
Yeah. The only part I don't like about any of that shit, if I don't sit here and force my beliefs on you, you can't serve me a shit sandwich and tell me it's fucking peanut butter and jelly and expect me to believe it. Like I do not need my daughter. I do not need me
Oh.
to be force fed this shit. Now look, if my daughter wants to do whatever when she grows up, she's an adult. I hope I raised her good enough to where whatever decision she is making is one that she believes in and that she
Mm-hmm.
stands for, and that's fine. I will support that baby regardless of whatever she does. But
Yeah, that's
the
amazing
fact that
parent.
we have people that are pushing ideology, whatever the fuck word is, I always mess it up. They pushing all this shit on,
Ideologies.
yeah, pushing all this shit on
Ideology.
kid.
Whatever.
Yes, it's such a hard word to say. Pushing all this shit on kids and everything. Now that's where I draw the line. That's where it's like, at some point in time, you do got to say something. You got to,
Well, like that's not so that's the thing, right? So my stance is this: believe in whatever the fuck you want, don't care. Still don't care. Never cared. I fought for freedom. My friends fought for freedom. The men, and I say this because it makes me sleep at night because I can't. I really just can't get behind like baby Bush fucking going to Iraq to fucking finish what his dad started because his dad was fucking close and pulled out. Whatever,
yeah,
right? I just can't do that. I can't actually think of that in that way. Otherwise, I just get pissed because I literally have PTSD now. And
yeah,
I fucking have like all this other bull. I've got a TBI from blast in Afghanistan from some whatever, right? So I can't say that. But I always tell myself, I fought alongside heroes. They fought for freedom. They died for freedom. They
Yeah.
died for democracy, a democratic republic here in America. So they fought for that. So you be free, go
Yeah.
do freedom shit, right? But as soon as you involve the kids, as a parent, my job is to make sure that you don't fuck up my kids.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to talk about fucking sexual whatever other than in health. This is
Yeah.
how a baby is
Absolutely.
made.
Yeah.
These are
Absolutely.
STDs. This is
Yeah.
how to prevent STDs. This is how you prevent them. Like, cool. Do health stuff. That's science. If you do this, this is this. Like, we teach abstinence. Fine, teach abstinence. I
Ha-
don't give a shit. You know?
have you ever heard of the thing? And it's so simple, but it makes the most sense to me. You ever heard of the thing to where I can sit here and I can tell you, don't think of a pink elephant. Don't think of a pink elephant.
And then you start
Don't,
thinking of pink
and that's
elephant.
all
Yeah.
you think of a pink elephant. Okay, we're adults. I'm 37. I don't know how old you are, but
42.
okay, if we don't have the capacity to not think of it, even though we're being told not to, a child's brain is so vulnerable that when
Yeah.
you're putting ideas in it that they don't fully understand, and you're making it sound like some of this shit is okay. Not that it's wrong if you're an adult, but a child is going to start resonating with that, and they're going to be like, oh, just because I'm a tomboy, I'm a lesbian, or just because I played with a doll as a boy, am I gay? Like you're putting things in their heads that they are taking way too far because you've taught them something that they didn't need to know yet. And it is fucking kids up left and right. The suicide rate with these kids that are transitioning or think that they're supposed to transition early now is through the fucking roof.
Well, yeah, because you're literally injecting hormones into a human that doesn't accept those hormones.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one thing when you get to be an adult. I can't, the fact that if I can't get a tattoo until I'm 18, how can I change my gender before that? If I can't make a life changing decision to get a tattoo before I'm 18, how can I go on hormones that's going to
I don't
mess
know.
up the rest of my life?
Yeah, dude, I don't. I mean, I don't got no answers for that shit.
I tell
I
you
don't
what,
got no.
I know this rabbit hole again because I
Yeah,
love them.
it's fucking good, man.
I think they're trying to make us soft. I think they're trying to make men not men
What?
anymore.
Well,
I
yeah, because
think,
well, okay. Pause real quick. Sorry, I'm not going to talk
yeah,
over you, but like, pause real quick, right?
yeah,
So, how do you take over?
from the
How do you?
inside.
Yes. How do you change a civilization?
Yep.
You don't change the women. No
No.
offense, ladies. Nobody can change you. Like you guys are
Stuck in your beliefs. Yeah, you're not
like
changing.
like you ain't changing. You're gonna believe whatever you believe, and like there's not even a thermometer that can
Yeah,
gauge what you guys want to do. Like we're men, and we try to
yeah,
figure that out, and then we're wrong, or like all the time, which is
yeah,
fine. Like I'm just because we don't understand you and you don't understand us, but infrastructure is built by men. Okay, wars are fought by men,
yeah,
right? Um, being a protector is typically a man's job,
yeah,
not a provider anymore, because providing is dual
yeah.
capacity in today's world, right? And like it's totally cool because women are awesome and
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
able they're able to fucking provide for their families now because of the fucking nuclear family being decimated over time
Yeah,
because it was cool to be sexual as the sexualization of America, right?
yeah,
Or the world, whatever. So how do you overthrow a great country?
yeah,
Rome fell from within. It didn't fucking nobody
yeah,
invaded Rome.
yeah.
Like they fucking started propaganda wars inside, and they fucking did that. Now you're doing propaganda wars in America. Like you go to fucking Kenya, they're like a boy is a boy,
Yeah,
a girl is a girl.
yeah,
It's fucking simple.
yeah. I always say the easiest way to take over the village is to eliminate the warrior in the first place.
Oh yeah,
And I feel like that's what they're doing. Like, and trust me, I have very flamboyant friends, men that are gay as hell, and they are some of my best friends, and I think the world of them. They are wonderful human beings. But they'll sit there and tell you straight up that if it came down to needing somebody to protect them, they appreciate that they're still warriors out there. They appreciate there's still cowboys out there. They appreciate there's still military because you have to have that. If some big bad ass comes along and wants to put someone in their place, and there's not someone that's just equally as tough standing in front of them, they're going to run over them. And I think that's what has happened. I think whether it's TikTok or it's all this other stuff, because we're the only country that has TikTok, and everybody wants to bitch about the ban. And I got a decent following on it, but I get why the people want to ban it. If you go to China, they push education. They push science. They go to us, they're pushing little boys in cat suits, pissing and shitting in boxes, and that's what gets trillions of views. And it's like, are you shitting me? We're literally telling our kids, if you want to be famous, if you want to be well known, if you want to make stupid money, this is what you got to do. To where China's like, no, get an education.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This is I think I know where you're going to go with this. What's your take on bullies?
I got bullied growing up very badly.
Okay.
And I'm kind of glad I did because it made me who I am. But you punch a bully in the fucking face. You give them like
Yeah, you got to fucking rise up to the occasion,
yeah,
man.
you punch a bully in the fucking face. That's the only way you stop getting bullied. Like I love we've worked with some organizations in the past with anti-bullying programs, but I've told every kid. All right, so I'll give you this, so you'll love this. So this week, two boys came and played my show in Nashville. One is 12 years old, one is 13 years old.
Okay.
I'm the only round that lets kids do it. The reason why I let kids do it, a kid named Miles Gee. Hey, I love this kid. If anybody wants to go look Miles up, I just posted him on my Instagram today. But so about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I get a video of Miles. Somebody sent it to me, and he's from Kentucky. And this boy was doing a Waylon Jennings songs, Way More Blues, at his middle school talent show.
Okay.
I couldn't have played the guitar then. I can't play the guitar with shit now. But he was doing what makes him happy. And because he was a 11-year-old boy playing Way More Blues at his talent show, all these kids started picking on him mercilessly. The video went super viral. Somebody reached out to me, and I reached out to the family. I was like, come to Nashville, our next show. I will surprise everybody at the end of the night, and I'll put you on stage. The reason why I want to put you on stage is I want you to see those kids don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And everybody in this room at some point in time was bullied and told that we wasn't good enough. We wasn't going to be shit. But yet we're the ones on stage. We're the ones that have our own business. We're the ones that's got the spotlight. Everybody else is working for somebody else because they never chase their fucking dreams. Well, the reason why I wanted him to do that is because he didn't have to physically punch those bullies in the face. But by him doing that, now he has played Bridgestone Arena with Billy Strings in front of 30,000
Fuck
people.
yeah,
He's
dude.
played with fucking Kenny Chesney, the Dixie Chicks. He's played with all these kids. And it's just because he didn't let those fucking bullies win. He stood up to them and said, I'm going to keep being me. That's what I want people to do. If you don't stand up to a bully, they're never going to stop. And that's the same thing with fucking any of these people now. Like you have to put them in their place.
But yeah, so the downfall of societies was actually this social media in general.
Oh yeah. I mean, I work in it and I hate it.
Dude, I literally, so for the longest time, I was running all the social media, and then I handed it off to some people, and now, like, I don't actually do very many social media posts. Like,
Yeah.
By the way, useless plug, beardedviking.com.
Absolutely.
Follow us at Bearded Viking Mead Co. on Facebook
And
or
your podcast.
Instagram. And
Drop your
and we have
podcast.
we got a men's mental health podcast, Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. We go on live on Rumble, by the
Cool.
way. So that's actually fun because we get to interact with you. It's a lot of fun. I'm only on it once a month because I have adulty things that I have to do as a CEO. But my COO, his name's Alex. We went to college together. I was in the recruiting office when he was recruited. So cool stories with that. And then his brother, who's my art director, or I guess he's a VP of art now, but he's the one who made all that fucking cool, the logos and does all of our swag.
It looks good. It looks cool as shit, dude.
He like just go listen to us. I talk about men's mental health. And the big thing we talk about in that, and we've talked about bullying before. And my take on bullying is if you, two things, right? A bully is bullying you because they're being bullied. So just know that, right? And number two, once you punch a bully in the face and you stand up to them, you're probably going to be their best friend.
Yeah, they're gonna respect you. More than likely, I would most of the time. And you're right, the first thing you said. Most of these kids, or whoever it is, they have a horrible home life. They're
Yeah.
miserable with themselves. That's why they're projecting onto you. That's why they're trying to make you feel worse about yourself so they feel better about them, or at least bring you down to their level. That's all a bully really is. Like you'll get somebody every once in a while that just thinks they're hot shit, but most of the time it is a mental health thing. Most of the
Well, that's
time is that.
yeah. So like the person who thinks they're hot shit, like I'm so over the I'm an alpha fucking guy. Like I fucking hate alphas, dude. Like
God, we're the same
first,
person.
fucking alphas are fucking. Oh man, I want to say the fucking F word so bad.
Yeah. Well, first off, I will say this so you don't have to. An alpha doesn't have to say he's a fucking alpha. It's just a leader of men.
I have a better fucking one. I watched this. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So you have an alpha, a beta, and an omega. An
Yeah.
omega is the leader. That's at the end,
Yeah.
right? So alpha and omega, beginning and end.
Yeah.
When you're at the beginning, you think you're shit hot, but then as you go through life, life fucking humbles you and you just do. And by just doing, people follow you. I can, as an omega human, as an omega man, that sounds funny because Mega Man was a great fucking video game.
Yeah.
Um, but as an omega, dude, you can walk the line of an alpha without being fucking pompous and being a prick. Like every single part of me hates the fucking high school quarterback who thinks he's hot shit because dad bought the fucking lights for the stadium.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
He's a dick. Fuck
It,
you.
yeah, so there's something that I've always just believed in. I think everybody's supposed to have their own creed, their own this certain things they stand for, like how knights and everything used to have a crest. And there ought to be certain things in your crest that you just to your core of your existence you believe in. My faith is one of them. But
Yeah.
I love the beliefs of mobsters and I love the beliefs of cowboys because it's all centered around respect and what you give is what you get. And you're sometimes you're gonna have to hit somebody. And that but that doesn't mean actual physical violence. Sometimes you just have to put somebody in their place. I just love the fact that there are certain people out there like that. I wish there was more that subscribe to respect than anything else. That's my biggest thing. If you show me respect, you could be the most different fucking person on the planet than me, and you're gonna get respect back from me. But
Uh,
that pompous shit, like, and with cowboys and mobsters too, also. This is the other thing, what you were just saying. I love the fact that if you step over the line with me, and my friends know this, and I don't know you like this, but I know that you're like this. I'm the guy that's going to give you two or three chances. But
yeah.
if you step over that line with me one more time after I've made it very clear, then it's going to go to the old school way of doing shit. And because I've been that way for so long, people don't fuck with me or my friends. Like they
It's
leave us the fuck alone. And that's what, like I said, I will never say alpha because I think it's a stupid term for the most part. But you're just supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be a supporter. You're supposed to be that guy you can get, like that Godfather mentality. You're supposed to be what you want your friends to be.
yeah, you're supposed to be a dude doing dude shit.
Yeah.
That's it. End of it. Like that's
Yeah.
I say that shit all the time, right? You know, I have a lot of mantras in life that I have that I live by, and the number one thing that I live by, and I'm like super terrible at it sometimes, but like I think we all have that fucking up and down, right? Um, is that kindness is the most important thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
And people like look at me and they're like, kindness? You mean you want me to be kind? I'm like, listen, here's the thing about kindness and the truth about kindness. Okay. So kindness is opening a door for an old lady,
Yes.
saying, thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am. If they look like a leopard, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? You don't have to like
Treating
you
the
don't need to judge
janitor
them.
the same way
Yeah,
you
yeah,
treat the
yeah,
president.
yeah, absolutely. And then
Yeah.
also at the same time, kindness. If you're in the back country hunting and your horse breaks a leg, kindness is putting the horse down.
Yeah.
So if somebody is out there trying to fucking break your horse's leg, put him
Put them
down.
down. Yep.
Not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta, or you don't have to be in a scenario where uh, you are focused on always just being sweet and kind, letting people walk all over you. No, fuck
Yeah.
that. Kindness to
No.
yourself matters more than anything else. And then you add on to that some of the other things that I believe. So I'm 5'10". I'm not
Okay.
really big, right? I'm just not a big dude,
Yeah,
but
I think
because
me
I
and you's
sleep,
about the same size.
yeah, I think so. I was drunk when I met you, so I
Yeah,
fucking like when
I'm
you,
pretty sure me and you's the same size.
yeah. So like, and like, I've got broad fucking shoulders,
Yeah.
right? And a big beard, sleeve tattoos. People don't fuck with me. They
Yeah.
really don't. Because I prefer to laugh. And I used to be a
I'm
bouncer.
too. That's exactly how I am.
Yeah, I love laughing, man. Like laughing is
Yeah.
fun. Like people want to talk about like all this other weird shit. They're like, oh man, I'm a veteran. Oh man, so am I.
Well,
Oh yeah, but are you a pogue? And I'm like, whatever. No, I'm not. I'm a combat vet. Oh, well, man. So you're my fucking people. I was a combat vet. I'm like, fucking veteran's a veteran, man. Like, you ain't gotta
yeah.
be a vet, bro. Like, your 9 line apparel T-shirt looks like fucking American Fighter or Affliction shit. You just
Yeah.
look like a giant fucking twat waffle.
There's a lot of assholes out there wearing 9 line. Like I love 9 line. Don't get no. I'm not knocking y'all. I love you guys. I know there's some of y'all that listen, but there's a lot of folks that there's one guy. I'll tell you a story about this dude.
Can't wait.
I will not knock anybody that has served this country when I've never put my life on the line. I've never whatever. There was a guy that got cut out of not cut or what is it called when you get he didn't make it through basic training. He got
Oh,
dishonorable discharge during basic training.
dishonorable or just
No,
discharge?
it was this. It was. I'm not gonna say dishonorable. I think,
He was just discharged during basic.
but it was for some bullshit that he did. So I think it was dishonorable. I just don't remember the whole story, and I don't want to lie, or say something I'm not supposed to. But I'm pretty sure it was whatever. Well, this dude still goes around our hometown, and he wears the 9 line stuff. He talks about how he's a vet and how he's done this and that and this and that or whatever. And I got drunk one night. And like, I work with Mission 22. I work with creative vets. Mental health is my bread and butter. Talking to a grown man or a grown woman who's seen some shit, been through some shit, and they share their story so they can help other people not feel alone is my favoriteest thing to do. I love the people that don't do it for pity. They do it so they can help. I got drunk as shit, and he was talking around this fire about how he served or whatever. And I literally had just got back from an event to where I saw this grown man tell his story that you've heard a million of them, but it's one that's tragic, but he's still here, right?
Yeah.
And this guy was trying to make the most out of him wearing that shirt and him being a vet. And I was like, how long did you serve? Like, because from what I remember and what I've been told, you got discharged during basic training. And he's like, I'm still a vet. I was like, what the fuck did you do in basic training?
Okay,
What?
so you have to. So let's make sure everybody understands this. Basic training, you're discharged during basic training, no matter if it's honorable, dishonorable, whatever, medical discharge, whatever. If you're discharged during basic training, you're not a veteran
Yeah, he
because
was.
you haven't earned the title of
Yeah,
whatever branch you were in.
I want to say it was a DUI. If I remember correctly, it was a DUI, and it seems like he might have gotten a fight with a police officer. People are going to hear
Huh.
this. People are going to hear this and message me tomorrow, or whenever I put it out from my hometown, because they'll listen
So
and they'll
it's
know.
interesting. So we're the same age,
Yeah,
ish, kind of, right?
yeah,
So like in basic training, they don't let you leave.
yeah.
So
He
there's
got in
there's
some major fuck. It was bad enough that whatever he did, they were like, "You're not fucking." And I don't know any of the process. I don't know shit to do with it. I don't know nothing. And it might have been right after basic training, but I want to swear it was basic training. I want to say because I want to say it was at Camp Lejeune. That's where I think, if I can remember correctly. But it's been years since this happened. But but no, dude, I just yeah, there needs to be more the way that you're presenting yourself and the way that most of the vets that we work with, like they don't use it as a badge of honor. Actually, most of them Like if I say I quit saying thank you for your service a long time
Oh,
ago.
thank fucking God.
Yeah, like I quit because I had one dude, because I thought that's what you were supposed to say. I thought it was respectful. And I had one dude pull me aside at a golf tournament and was like, I know you're just being a nice guy and I know you don't know no better, but I did it for my family. I didn't do it
Yeah.
for anything else. He said, you can sit here and have smoke blown up your ass by most people all day, every day. He said, but the reason why I served and the reason why I had all the injuries and I had, it was not because of you. It was because of my family. He said, now, if I did something along the way that protected you and yours, whatever, but don't say
You know,
thank you for your service to me.
I fucking hate that phrase. I think everybody does.
Unless you're somebody who gets discharged during basic training, then you want everybody to say it to you.
So do you want to know why I started the Viking Outlaws and Cowboys?
I would love to know.
Okay, so in 2015, I put a fucking firearm and I almost killed myself.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I used so we were going through a bunch of shit in the company. We couldn't get out. We couldn't be in front of people. Could be relevant, whatever. Because like everybody wanted the hooch, so we were just giving everybody hooch balls.
Yeah.
And now I call it my top. By the way, I call it my top tier bathtub hooch.
Yeah.
Because it's bathtub hooch. It's better than toilet bowl hooch. You know. But in 2015, I got divorced. Was in a rebound relationship. Was driving. I had my kid. I lived in Salt Lake. My kids lived in New Mexico, and I was driving down. Or sorry, Thanksgiving weekend. Couldn't sleep. Had to drive them back after a 4-day weekend, and was driving down to New Mexico. First thing in the morning, but you know how Facebook does this thing where it shows you your fucking ex-girlfriend, ex
Oh,
girlfriend's friends
yeah.
and shit.
I
And
just
then
went through that shit in the holidays, boy.
same.
Ah,
Uh,
woo.
so so I so then you get in your head or whatever, and I found out that my ex broke up with me, and then she was married 3 weeks later.
Ooh.
So um, it was pretty bad. But then on the way down, I had my automotive shop, and I realized that I had to close my automotive shop permanently because there was literally only sorry, I have a puffs in the back.
It's fine. Mine came in here a while ago.
So um, so I was negative like $2,000 basically in my business bank account because people weren't paying on time, and I had people like siphoning stuff off of my business when I wasn't there to run it. And then on my way down to drop off my daughters, my oldest daughter told me she never wanted to talk to me again,
Ugh.
and she hasn't talked to me since. And then because of her mom and like the dynamic, and she doesn't talk to her mom either. Now she's married and is working on a baby, and I don't know if I'll ever get to meet my grandchild.
You will.
Kind
You
of
will.
fucking, yeah, you know, I don't know. I just put it out there. Like, hopefully it happens. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, like, it's not worth the heartache to fucking think about. If that makes sense. Um,
I got a similar situation. Me and you are a lot alike.
so, um, and then final straw was when I was dropping off my kids. I found out one of my really good friends fucking killed herself.
Yeah.
So I drove home, and like I was driving home, and I was listening to fucking XM radio in the rental car that I had, and it was like every fucking station. This is when Adele, Hello, was there. So like and it was like every
From
fucking
the other
song.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Every fucking song was just this, and I was just fucking bawling my eyes out. I got home, and I made it to the bottom of every bottle that you can possibly make it to. And I got to the point where I was just fucking done,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a place to live because I shut down my business. I ended up moving in with a friend in his fucking closet, his basement closet. Like I felt like Harry Potter living on the fucking in the attic under the stairs or whatever the fuck it is, right? The closet under the stairs. And so like I was sitting there one night and I was just like, okay, I just don't need to be here anymore. Real conversation you have with yourself at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning after you are like trying to fucking not look at the Facebook profile of the person, this douchebag this person's doing, right? And then the next morning I woke up and I had $385 in my bank account, and I went to the gun store and I bought a 45. I still have the 45. It's a great gun. Love it. Springfield. Springfield XD. Love it. I love it. But it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
So I'm go home, go downstairs, put the Springfield in my mouth, and my dog Montana, named after the greatest quarterback to ever play football. Call him Monty. Jabbed me with his foot, and looked at the picture of my daughters. And then I was like, "What, dude? I don't need to be here. They're gonna be better without me." And then he jabbed me with his foot again as I was going to put the gun back in my mouth, and he climbed across my lap.
Oh.
And when he climbed across my lap, I broke down, dude. Like,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Monty's not here anymore. He
No.
passed away in 2019. I just get teary-eyed thinking about him, so I apologize. But
No, dude, trust me, I cry on this bitch all the time. I cry all the time. I'm a crybaby anyway.
so anyway, so he saved my life.
Yeah.
And from that moment forward, I made a promise that I would always do something to bring people together, to better themselves, to focus on growth, so that they knew that they weren't alone.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of my friends didn't even know I was suicidal.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been homeless, and I've worked on a whole bunch of shit. And currently, now I own a 20-acre ranch in Montana and started an alcohol company, and got my master's degree also while I was building the company, and working a full-time job.
Well, dude, we're so similar. I tried to commit suicide in 2011. Or 2010. My daughter was born a year after. That's why her name is Grace. She's my saving grace.
I love it, dude.
Like literally changed my life. But I'll say this, the best day of my life. I finally, about 2015 or 2016, I made the choice that I was tired of wearing it. I was tired of keeping it in. Like there was people that knew that what I did, because I ended up having to go to, um, you go piss. Well,
You sure?
yeah, just go piss, and then we'll finish this out.
Okay, cool. Sorry, bro.
We probably got like 20 more minutes.
That's cool. I kind of did. My eyeballs are swimming.
I do. Yeah, y'all gotta do is tell me. You could have said it on here. Would have been fine.
My soul has now been rejuvenated.
All right, you better.
Yeah, man. Fucking.
Yeah.
Whew, 4 banquets will do it to you.
Hey, I'm telling you, that shit happens to me all the time. Get down. Oh yeah. So all right. So let's get back to where I'm gonna start at. Yeah, best part. 1, 2. All right, we're back from the piss break. But anyway, no, what I was saying is I had to wear it. Like there are certain people that knew that I tried to commit suicide and
Yeah.
everything. And the only reason why I'm here is I'm fucking stupid. I'm the only person who tried to kill themselves by taking ibuprofen 800s. I took a whole bottle of them and just didn't know no better. And luckily, they just had to pump my stomach. Well, I guess it wasn't anything too bad. Like I didn't know no better. But anyway, so I got tired of wearing it, and there was this overwhelming feeling to me that if I was still here, and this was 5 years after I tried to, 5, 6 years after, I was like, you know what? The good Lord wants me here for a reason, regardless of what anybody believes in or whatever. Like I'm still here. And I started thinking, I was like, well, what is my purpose in life? And I realized that if I'm still here and I have this outgoing personality and I can do something with it. I don't care if I ever get rich, don't care if I ever get famous, but if God gave me the blessing to still be here, then I need to take the thing that was probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me and turn it into my purpose. So I decided to go on social media, and this is before I had a social media following or anything.
Yeah.
I just made a video. It's like one of the first things I ever did. I made a video, and it was literally me telling the story about what happened and where I was at that point in my life. Well, dude, when I did that, within a year, my social media was to the point to where my dream job that I always wanted was to work in radio. I love Howard Stern. I love the movie Private Parts, all that kind of shit. Like it made me from a young age want to be a radio show host. Well, I don't have a background in that. Nothing. My dad had a drywall company. That's what I was doing for a living, like before I got a job in radio. Well, within a year of me posting that video and me accepting that that was my purpose in life, I had a job in radio. Well, then it went from having just a job in radio to me hosting the number one show or making it the number one show in the state of Georgia. Well, then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I ended up getting fired for some of my beliefs that I shared on radio. But because I got fired, I ended up getting put in a situation to where I had to figure out what my next move was. I ended up at a poker room and down in Jacksonville, Florida, at my birthday. I got fired on my birthday, by the way. As I was getting,
Sucks.
I was in the tattoo chair. I wanted the Crusader's cross right here and this God's
Yeah.
armor on my arm for fucking ever. I got it for me on my birthday that year. As I'm getting tattooed, I get a call from my program director and I'm fired. As I'm getting God's armor tattooed on me. Then I have to host an event the next night for my birthday at a bar because we've already paid the band. So I have to show up at this place emotional, sad, just broken because I just lost my dream job. I thought my life is over.
Right.
Well, after that event, I decided I need a couple days. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. So I went to Jacksonville, Florida, to a poker room, and I played Texas Hold'em. Across from me is a dude who works for iHeartRadio, and we get to talking just like me and you are now. We're just running our mouths. He never tells me he works for iHeartRadio. I never tell him for the first 2 or 3 hours that I used to work in country radio. So we get to the point where drinks are flowing good. We start to open up and we're telling each other's stories and all this kind of shit. And I started telling like my mental health side of it because that was the biggest thing. Even when I worked in radio, I want even my birthday. My birthday is the mental health day of the year, September the 10th. And I'm literally telling him all this stuff about it and everything. And he was like, "What is your next move then?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think I'm going to go apply for a job in Atlanta, but I don't want to do that because then I have to move away from my daughter." But I know I'm not working for a smaller radio station. I've got the number one show right now. Like I want to continue that.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, "Dude, why don't you start your own podcast? Why don't you open your own studio? There's more money in it. If you can get a couple people to help you get started, whatever." He said, "And if you get started, I will put you on a playlist right out the gate." He puts me on a playlist a month later. Within a month's time, I opened up Raising Grace Studios. And the first episode I dropped, just because he put me on a playlist, just because we had the listeners from radio already, it gets a couple thousand downloads. It's right off the bat. Well, the point of all of this is I didn't let the mental health stuff beat me. I turned it into my passion.
Yeah.
I turned it into my purpose. And that's where like you starting yours and everything that you do and the stuff you're comfortable talking about. Used to, when I would say suicide, it would taste like shit coming out of my mouth. It would be hard to say to where now
1,000%.
I can say suicide. I can tell you about what I've been through, and it's a second language to me. I don't. There's not a taboo of it. I think men like you and me that have came to the point to where we want to help others. We want to take the worst moments in our life and put it to helping others. That is our purpose. Purpose ain't having money in the bank account. Purpose ain't always about having a great relationship. That is our purpose. And when you accept that purpose, all everything just starts lining up together. You get 22 acres and you get to build your mead company, but you know that you still have to do your purpose. What with me, I tell you, like when me and you first talked, every show that I do does not matter. We almost we got kind of a running joke that like in Nashville that a lot of people call me the barstool preacher. And it's not that I feel that way, but it's always whenever I get drunk with somebody and they're hurting and you can tell they're struggling, for some reason they gravitate towards me and I get to share my faith with them and I get to share the mental health stuff with them. And I end up making like a friend for life pretty much. I end up
Yeah,
making
dude.
somebody, but I think that that's our purpose. I think that's your purpose. Like the meat shit is great, but you knowing that you're like, you don't want people to feel alone and that's why you started that podcast. That's
As a
wonderful.
company.
Yeah.
As a
In the
company.
company. Yeah.
So the art of a meetup, right? is bringing people together. And what I know about men, I don't fucking know a damn thing about women. Like I really don't.
I
Like
don't.
I
You ain't the
want.
fucking only one, Bubba.
Oh, none of us do, right? Women don't even know about women.
No,
Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. Y'all can admit it, or you can decline, or whatever, but you
they
don't
don't
know.
know.
Like it's. Hey, here's where I'm at, right? With it. I um I I created the company, the alcohol company, because uh you know you get the opportunity to speak freely, like a drunk man's words or a sober man's thoughts.
Yeah.
You can grease the wheels a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a fucking problem drinking, don't drink. I don't
Yeah.
want you to drink. I do
Absolutely
not
not.
want to. No, be sober as fuck. Stay sober. I will support you, and if anybody fucking tries to pressure you, I'll beat the fuck out of them. I don't care.
Just so y'all know,
That
sobriety is cool as fuck. I'm just telling
no,
y'all, it's not for
and
me. It's not for me. But if you are sober, I am
no.
fucking proud of you, and it is the way to be.
And I will never, ever, ever, ever let anybody else try to fucking bully you because I will
Absolutely
beat the
not.
little shit out of them.
Yes.
I'll rip their arm off and beat them to death with it. Right? I don't give a fuck.
If I thought that was supposed to be my journey, I'd be sober.
Mm.
I don't think it's mine.
I don't want it to be mine.
Yeah.
I don't need alcohol. I took a 30-day break after
Oh,
Nashville
yeah.
because I had my check liver light was on for like a month. Because if you haven't ever been in Nashville,
It hurts.
Nashville's a fucking trip. And when we ended up drinking with fucking John Daly at Losers till fucking
Oh, that's
4:30 in
right.
the
I forgot you
morning.
was there with us that night, but you damn sure were.
Yeah, because I was fucking talking to Dallas and I was talking to
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Michael Ray, and his fucking girlfriend kept grabbing my beard, and I was like,
Yeah, they're awesome.
normally,
They're awesome
I was like,
folks, man.
I know, I was like, normally, you touch my beard, I touch your butt, but you're fucking taken.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just can't cross that bridge here. And then
Yeah.
John and his son, is it Jesse? I forget his fucking son's name.
Yeah.
Fucking great people, like the kindest
Yeah,
humans.
they're some of my favorite people to be around.
Yeah, and then I was down there. I actually came down there because Scott Brown from Scooter Brown Band, War Hippies, Scott Brown,
Yeah.
musician, singer, songwriter, and he plays on the Grand Ole Opry. He's like a big deal. He's a fucking a thing. He and I served in Anazari during the Battle of the Bridges back in 2003 on two different streets, and we met in Utah years later. We fucking ended up bullshitting about it.
Oh, that's cool as shit, dude.
Yeah, so Scott and I fucking go way back without even going way back. I have a fucking CD signed by him, which is hilarious. My favorite song he sings, besides Whiskey and Pills, is "Make It Out Alive."
Yeah.
But dude, I don't fucking remember shit about Nashville. I was drunk the whole fucking time, and I came home and I ended up going on a hunting trip. It was supposed to be a guided veterans hunting trip. It was not guided. We guided ourselves, and I ended up fucking being inebriated the entire time there. So I decided that I was going to take fucking 30 days off because I was also going through a breakup.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I just got to make sure that I'm not fucking leaning on this shit too hard. So I took 30 days. As an alcohol manufacturer who goes to bars and liquor stores and everywhere and has to deal with the nightlife bullshit sometimes, I didn't drink one fucking drop of alcohol and didn't fucking miss it. So what I realized is I don't have to be sober.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I only really I'm a binge drinker, but I only do it in Nashville. Like I'll have a drink or two. Like I don't drink when I eat. I don't really drink when I'm home in Georgia. I'm having a couple of these Surfsides tonight because I'm sitting here bullshitting with you and it's Friday night. But I don't really do it a lot. I don't have to have it.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference. Like some people have to, and if like
Yeah.
my dad's a bad alcoholic. My dad is a horrible alcoholic, and he gets up and he has to have it. And by the end of by 5 o'clock every day, he can't talk. And like I don't want to be that person. I'm not ever
No,
like I don't want to be that.
I can day drink like once every 6 months.
Yeah, day drinking hurts, bro. Like
Yeah, it's fucking bad. I mean, I built I was blessed today to have so by the way, just so everybody knows, like even pagans say that we're blessed. So like that's a term.
Yeah.
Okay. Not like from the South when you all say bless your heart and you're trying to be like a dick.
No, that's when we tell somebody to fuck themselves in a nice way.
That's all.
That's all that is.
It's not even nice.
We don't. Well, everybody knows it at this point too. Like it's not even if, and nobody gives a shit.
No, yeah.
You know you're being a bitch. when you do that?
Yeah. So like today, we put up. So I got 20 acres, and we put up. Me and three other men put up. You know what a jackleg fence is?
A jack link fence?
Yeah. So it's two posts like this that come
Yeah.
across, and then it's got three runs on the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
like
know
the
that's what it
old
was.
rancher style. Yeah, it's called the
Yeah, I didn't know
jackleg,
what it
the
was
rancher
called, but I
style
know
home
what it
system.
looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. So we put up 1,600 feet of jackleg fence today.
Fuck that.
That's why I didn't text you early. My fucking body hurts. I did CrossFit yesterday for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a CrossFitter, I need to let you know that I do CrossFit. And by the way, I've changed my name to Chad.
You should
And
have.
and
Yeah, I'm probably not going to release this episode now just because you said that one sentence.
I actually have to add Axe body spray. Dude, I did the 75. Are you familiar with the 75 hard?
The what? 75
The
hard?
75 hard? Yeah, the Andy Frisella thing.
I don't know what it is.
And so it's 75 days straight of no alcohol. You have tasks every day. So you have to work out twice a day, and one has to be outside.
Okay.
You have to read 10 pages of a book. And it's supposed to be something that's a self-improvement, self-help book.
Okay.
Drink a gallon of water, no sugar as well. And you have to choose a diet and stick to it. And take a selfie every day of your progress.
Okay.
I did it. So so many people fail at it. I was just like, everybody around me is like, dude, you're not going to make it. You like alcohol too much. I was like, okay, whatever. As the kids say, bet.
Yeah. I could do that if I didn't have to go to Nashville once a month for work. Nashville, there's just no way I can. It's impossible for me.
Nashville is a fucking weird place.
Yeah,
because it's like better than Vegas, but also shittier than Vegas.
I just lost 70 pounds since June of last year, 65, 70 pounds. And I don't have a problem with all that stuff. If it wasn't for alcohol and going to Nashville, I'd probably be close to 100 pounds right now. I changed my eating habits. I changed everything. I started feeling what it's like to feel good. I didn't realize how bad I felt. Like, yeah, like I would love to try that, but I would ruin it the first chance I get. I went to Nashville.
I'll tell you this: 0 out of 10 stars trying to drink with John daily.
Yeah, so shout out to Good Boy Vodka real fast. So I found out in October that I have a stomach not October, but in December I have a stomach ulcer. So yeah, it's fun. I'm dying like every day. Well, the medicine and stuff they got me on, they were like, look, if you're going to drink, because we know you're a dumbass and you're going to drink non-carbonated alcohol. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed that Mead's probably non-carbonated, right?
Yeah. Have you had the Bearded Viking Mead Company Mead?
Well, I'm going to.
It's non-carbonated.
Yeah, so you're going to send me some of that. I can't wait to try that. But so John drinks, and I saw a video of him, and I've heard him talk about it. But he came to my show in December or November, and he gave me some Good Boys to try. The company that he represents and is part of, they're non-carbonated. Yeah. They're good. But the reason why he can drink the way he does, well, one is John fucking Daly, but
I believe the term is, hold on, I believe it's John motherfucking Daly.
Oh yeah, that's probably exactly how he says it. But shit goes through you. It's like drinking water, and it's good. I bet. Yeah, dude, I got fucking trashed. I always get trashed when I'm with John anyway. Like but it's also too, he's the first guy I've ever met that I grew up really liking as far as a sports figure that I've been around.
Yeah.
And he was exactly like you think. Like, they tell you not to meet your heroes. John Daly's the only reason I play golf. And he is sincere. He is nice. He is a good human being. It's like everybody else that I've met, or not everybody, there's a lot of people I've met that are famous, that are complete fucking ass. My show was this Wednesday in Nashville, and I got into it with somebody that is super famous that night because their head's so far stuck up their ass because they've had some fame that they think they can treat people like shit. And I'm just not that person. Like, you can do that to everybody else. You can't do that shit to me.
Well, we walked back. So Vaden fucking took us back there.
Oh, I love Vaden.
I fucking love Vaden. He sent me he sent me sand from fucking Tripoli.
I bet he did.
As a Marine,
that seems like that's a Vaden thing to do.
And then he found some bottles of mead because Sean and and me and like my crew fucking rolled in. So we go to the losers. I think
Yeah,
it's losers.
losers.
Yeah. So we go to losers, and before that, Vaden's like, "Do you want to go meet my buddy John?" I'm like, "Sure, dude. I don't know who the fuck you are. You're a really nice guy though. Like, I'll go meet your friends. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck." Like, cool. He's like, "Yeah, he plays golf," and I was like, "Cool." And we walk through losers, right? We're all wearing bearded Viking shirts,
Yeah.
right? We all have cowboy hats on, and like everybody's like, "Oh shit, Vaden's walking like this new group in, like we're
Yeah.
a fucking band." I'm like, everybody's like, "What do you play? What type of music? What is it?" I'm like, "I make alcohol, man."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What?" And so I walk back, and I'm the first one in the door. And Vaden's like, "Hey, this is John," and I'm like, I looked at Vaden, I was like, "Vaden, that's John fucking Daly. That's John motherfucking Daly. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And and he's like, "Yeah, so is John." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Cool." So I walk up, I'm like, "Hey, John, how's it going?" Shake because like I was just like, first off, I've met a lot of celebrities. I have
Yeah.
really met a lot, and I'm like, never in my life did I think that I was going to meet a golf legend because like I'm not golf. I love golfing, but
Yeah.
in my head, there's two types of golfers: those that pay to play, and there's the rest of us that get, those that get paid to play, right?
Yeah.
And John Daly's a fucking legend. He's just fucking who he is. He laughs. He has a good time. He's unapologetic.
Yep.
And John looks at me. He's like, "Damn, man, I want to have a beard like that." And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't even know what to tell you in response to that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, "You're gonna go into the Hall of Fame of beards, best beard ever." And I was like, "What is fucking happening right now?" Like
Yeah.
in my head, it wasn't the fact that it's John Daly, like, and I'm like fanboying. It was this dude's literally like just being kind because he's
Good dude.
kind,
He's just a good dude, man.
solid, And then I ended up fucking talking to his son for a long time,
Yeah.
and like we correspond now, and my buddy Nate, who I served with in Afghanistan, which you met Nate too. He's
Yeah.
here actually in the house tonight. He's hanging out and helped me put up my jackleg fence. I conned him into it, but he's also the director of logistics for my company.
That's cool.
Um, he's fucking John calls Vaden and Vaden calls Nate, and like they ended up fucking drinking at Losers till like 7 in the morning. He asked, like I wasn't even fucking invited because I was hanging out with fucking Dallas because Dallas and I are fucking like kindred spirits in the aspect of that.
Oh, Dallas Alexander is one of my favoriteest fucking people on this
I
planet.
actually fucking texted Dallas today, dude. He might be coming out here to Montana to come play.
Yeah, they're
At my
playing.
meadery.
I'm coming up there with them to Wyoming. Like, I know that's not clearly where you're at, but
It's like they're coming from Wyoming to my place.
okay. So I might be with them.
Might or will?
It just depends on. I got to look at my shows for Nashville and see what lines up because one of my best friends in this world is opening for Dallas, and he's also going to play bass for Dallas. A guy named Riley Anderson, who is he's one of the best human beings alive. But Dallas is taking him out with him, and I've always
Dallas
wanted
is gonna
to.
be.
I've
Dallas is
always
gonna be.
I've always wanted to go up to y'all's area. Anyway, that's just one of the things I want to do. And the fact that they're all going to be up there together, and it sounds like you're going to be close, it just seems like it's probably going to line up to where I do it.
I believe the term is it's time for a meetup, sir.
Yeah, I tell you. Well,
I'm not calling you on the carpet, but you might want to show the fuck up.
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm
I'm down.
You stay at my house for free.
Yeah, well, fuck, I'm down. I think I've always wanted to anyway, and I like how shit lines up. If it lines up something like that to where it's weird that it lines up so well, you just do it. You stop questioning it and you just fucking roll with it.
Oh yeah, dude. Like we just did our expansion, and now we're gonna have a fucking stage and shit for outdoor fucking
It's cool.
we have a drinking corral, and that's what I call it because it's a fucking drinking corral.
That's cool.
And we're gonna fucking have outdoor concerts and shit. I can't wait. But yeah, so Dallas is coming up. He's gonna come fucking. He said he doesn't know if he's gonna be able to fucking play this time or not for sure. But if he's rolling through because he's got to go back up to fucking Canada.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll stop," and I was like, "Stay the night. I fucking enjoy drinking with you, dude. You're a fucking good cat." So Dallas and I fucking ended up talking the whole night. And then there's another gal that was there. I don't remember. She was really cute. I don't know if she's single or not, because I don't care. And then Michael Ray and his gal and like
Great people. Michael's a buddy of mine.
yeah,
His
Mike,
whole he's a good dude.
yeah, he was super. I had no idea who the fuck he was.
Yeah, great
I didn't know he's
songwriter.
like. I
Really
had
good
no
songwriter.
idea he was fucking famous as fuck. Right? Like
Yeah,
I was
he
hanging out with people that were like
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you hit a good little patch there. You hit a good little group of folks with everybody that was there.
It was weird, man, because like I got everybody's phone numbers and like I sent a message, and normally like people don't respond to
Yeah.
like regular Joes, but like it was weird because I felt like I was part of like the crew, like everybody was welcoming and they talked to me all the time.
Nine times out of ten, that's what you get. I've been very blessed to be around these folks and become friends with them. And nine times out of ten, that's what you get. There's a 1% that you don't want to meet. There's a 1% that their head's so far stuck up their ass that they're miserable to be around, but it's because they hate themselves and they project
Yeah,
that shit. Like and you can tell. I had to deal with
yeah,
one Wednesday night. Like I had to, and that's the first time I've dealt with anything like that. Like it's whatever. But well, hey, let's do this. 'Cause I think we hit a good stopping point. Tell them one more
oh yeah,
time your Instagram where they can order their mead,
okay,
where they can find it, all that good stuff. Give them a rundown real fast. But I
all
would
right,
love this was a great episode. I'm gonna have you definitely back. And what we'll probably do is the next one, like maybe do one every month. We'll get
hey,
that. Well, let's get Dallas on the next one. Me, you, and Dallas bullshitting for a couple hours.
hell
That-
yeah. If we could ever get my co-host Alex
oh
on
yeah,
too, so there's the four of us, dude.
yeah. Let's do. Well, I'll tell you what. You've got your podcast. Why don't you get the people that you do your podcast with, and we line it up for next month that we all do one together. That way
Yeah, it's
yeah.
fucking dope,
I
dude.
think that would be great. I think that'd be a great show.
Yeah, we'll fucking do it. So, all right, on the socials, just type in Bearded Viking Mead. That's it. You'll find it on Facebook, Instagram, the TikTok. If it doesn't go away, I think we're on Clapper now. I don't fucking know. Like you can follow us on Twitter, but like I don't ever
I
post
don't
shit
do
on Twitter
I don't do
or
Twitter.
X or
Whatever
whatever
the
the
fuck it's
fuck that is.
called.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't fuck. I can't keep up with it. I just don't. I just don't hashtag enough. Um, you can follow our podcast on all the media. So, well, sort of on YouTube because I kind of got in trouble for saying the word woke. Whatever.
Yeah. It's
I
okay.
said woke.
Fuck them. I don't like them.
I said wokeness. I said wokeness breeds weakness.
That's about right though.
Some fucker, whatever. Anyway, but you can find it's Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. Hop on, listen. You guys can listen to the story. We talk about men's mental health, the pillars of being a man, like what it means to be a protector, and then we talk about fucking paranormal shit. Like, by the way,
Yeah.
before you bounce out, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm gonna finish this little spiel up.
Okay.
You can find us on beardedviking.com, and then you just go in and you can just order your mead. We have great apparel like this dope ass hoodie or beanie, whatever. This shirt's like no longer existent, but we have hoodies. We got fucking mugs, cups, all sorts of shit. Like it's really good. We even have shark coochie boards.
Nice.
Yeah, so like whatever. So my question is right. So two-part question. Question one: do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What type of dick does he have? A man dick or a dog dick?
He's got an ape dick. I don't know what an ape dick looks like, but
I,
he's got an ape
I
dick.
think no. Hold on. I think he's a hybrid. I think he's an uncircumcised lipstick.
That's a sound bite. That's great. Well, hey,
You're welcome.
Do this. That's a great fucking sound bite. Do this. I'm gonna text you when we get off of here. But
Cool.
send me some mead, send me some gear and stuff, and I'll rock it for you. So we got some social media posts for you.
Fuck yeah, man. Just shoot me your address.
Cool, dude. Well, man, I appreciate it. And hey, everybody, this is how we're kicking off 2025. This was a great episode. This is what you get to expect all year. It's one of our new sponsors. Go order the stuff. I'll give you some taste tests, but I'll go ahead and tell you, as solid as he was on the show, I would imagine that the mead's going to be just as solid. Go order some gear from him as well. Go subscribe to their podcast. And just thank y'all for listening. Sorry we ain't done a show in a couple of weeks, but hey, look. This year is going to be crazy. We got some great shit planned for you. Thank y'all so much for listening to the Josh Terry podcast. We'll catch y'all next time.
Cheers, motherfuckers.